Guys, if you have not checked out the Collector app yet, please do yourselves a huge favor and get yourself the Collector app.
It's amazing too because now you can add your Japanese cards from your collection, and that's something that I've wanted to do for a while, and I'm super excited to get everything added in there and get more of a precise value of my collection.
Yeah, they've added Chinese as well now. So you can pretty much, if you're
Ooh.
collecting most of the Pokemon languages, it's available on Collector now. And you can track like your portfolio, so you can add your singles, you can add your sealed, and you can kind of watch over time whether or not it's going up or down with the market.
It's so cool because it's like watching stocks, and you can just see it go up and down with the market fluctuations, and it's addicting to look at. I don't like
It
the addicting part.
I don't know. It definitely is nice getting to see your product going up in value. But you can also track like the progress of your sets as well. So like if you're not big on collecting sealed or anything like that, if you're just somebody that likes to master set, you can actually go in there and click on what cards you have, and it'll keep track for you and show you what cards you still need.
Yeah, I was actually using it back in the day when I was trying to master set, but that became too hard and I was losing too much money by opening product. Still using the app as always to keep an eye on my collection.
Yes. And not only that, so they also have this new feature with the Pro version of Collector where it shows you the set analytics. So you can kind of see like what cards are on everybody's wish list. You can see like it does the breakdown of the cards in the set as well, like the rarities. So you can see how many commons, how many illustration rares, how many SARs. Yeah, you can watch that as well.
I don't have pro.
I mean, that's fine. You don't have to have Pro to get most of the awesome features that Collector has. And
Right.
it's not only for Pokemon. It has everything on there. So if you're not just a Pokemon collector, if you're like into Magic or One Piece, all the things. There are so many different TCG products available on there for you to track as well.
Yeah, I mean you got Yu-Gi-Oh, Lorcana, you got Dragon Ball, Digimon, Star Wars. I think they've been adding sports too. Like they got it all.
I think I saw Funko on there as well, which I thought was pretty crazy.
You know, it's funny. They got MetaZoo on there.
But yeah, guys, I mean, if you haven't already, check out Collector. Do yourself a favor, get the app. It's awesome. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Trainer Gallery podcast. We have Danny Phantom today. What is going on, man?
What's up? I'm excited to be here. Thank you very much for including me. Means a lot. You guys are doing great, so thank you very much.
Thanks, man. We are
Thank you for
excited
coming
to
on.
have you on. Yeah.
No problem.
So I kind of want to just jump right in. You are everywhere. You do events, you do YouTube, you do vending. What started your love for Pokemon? What brought you to this space?
Oh my goodness. I mean, like I started really enjoying Pokemon when I was obviously younger. Like not too long after it came out. Like I got introduced to it from my cousin right after the release of Team Rocket. And it was something that we kind of shared together. And then like kids in my class were, collecting cards and things like that. And they they all fell out of it. And I just didn't. Like I just still enjoyed it. I enjoyed like I don't think anybody at that time really played like the game, but I really was fascinated by the game side of things. So I started doing that, and my cousin and I would have matches and things, and I really enjoyed it. And I think I kind of like identified with a community online that I just met through online. It was actually I actually remember meeting Rusty TCA Gaming. Like I have brought this up to him now since then, but like I met him on like a message board forum because he had all these cards and he was constantly buying and selling even way back then. And I just fell in love with like collecting the cards, playing the game. And then as I got older, I fell out of it pretty much throughout like the entire EX era, all of Diamond and Pearl, all of Platinum. And then I don't know, like it sounds super corny, but I guess like I was cleaning like I got married and we were cleaning our condo one day and I found a bunch of old Pokemon cards and I started looking through them and reminiscing, and then like just started looking stuff up online and fell in love with the black and white era. Started learning the game competitively again, going to like locals and things like that, finding out that there's people who still play the game. So I identified like a bunch of new friends that way. But I think we all go through things in life, right? Like there's always challenges that we go through and there's things that help us through those times. And Pokemon has just always been there. And Pokemon was one of those things like that I could escape to that like helped me through the darkest point, I guess, of my life. So I clung to it and I just never let go. And that's basically why I've continued so much since the black and white era, since getting reintroduced back to it. Like I had sold off my collection a couple times when I got married, then again when we bought our first house. But I always knew I would come back into it. It was just like a temporary pause. So like Pokemon's just always been there as like this escape, which is what I kind of try and talk about a lot. Like it's a good release from what goes on in our everyday life. I don't know. Do you guys agree with that? Like, is that kind of what you
Totally
feel also,
agree.
or?
Yeah, I agree. And I think
Okay.
not only that, but like the community as well also really adds to helping like get through certain things.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Everybody in
For
the
sure.
community is super nice.
I didn't really realize that until Card Party last year, because I was like posting on Instagram and everything, but I didn't really engage with people. And then I started talking to people there, and I realized how nice and just awesome and outgoing
Right.
everybody is.
Yeah, and we
It's
were kind of
so
talking about
infectious.
this before we started recording about how like it's weird to record in a public setting and it's weird to put yourself out there, right? But I like I remember, first of all, like I felt like when I had gotten back into Pokemon and I was like, I'm gonna go to locals and I'm gonna like play and see if there's anybody else that plays. I was so nervous because I was like, here comes Fanny, this old geezer. I didn't call myself Fanny at that time, but he's gonna go to locals and there's gonna be all these kids who are just gonna cook him completely. And it took me like 4 weeks of locals happening every Sunday to work up the courage to be like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I literally remember going into my car one of the weeks and sitting in my garage for like 10 minutes with the engine running, like trying to put the car in reverse, and like anxiety just poured over me. Nope, not this week, not doing it. Nope. And then finally I went and did it and got like the community was just amazing. And I was not like this old geezer. Like everybody was my age. So it was great. Like there were kids there, but there was a lot of people my age too, which made it a lot easier. So if you are somebody who is like struggling with working up the courage because you feel like maybe you're too old to play the game, like don't feel that way. Like don't. That prohibited me from getting back into the hobby much earlier. So
I feel like there's a lot of people in the community that are from like the early 90s. Like Elliot over here, he's like brand new. He's a little baby in the community. So
wait, when did you come into Pokemon?
Well, I just started my channel a year ago, but I've been collecting like I guess heavily for like 5 years.
Okay, so like
but
right
I
before
would
the
like collected
pandemic.
as a kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
as a kid, like 10 years ago.
Yeah. So you like missed what, like the Sun and Moon era, pretty much?
I caught like the kind of the tail end of that. Like
Okay.
there's still Cosmic and stuff on the shelves, which is amazing. I
Yeah,
like
Cosmic.
that.
That's
Cosmic was great.
great set.
When it first came out, though, it wasn't like a big deal. Like it wasn't at all a big deal. It was just
Right.
just another set. You know, like tag teams didn't get. I remember when Team Up came out, and I was looking back on our website because I owned a business at that time, and I remember looking at like the updated pricing that I've put like the price history of cards, and the holographic Jirachi, which is in Team Up. When Team Up released, we had listed at $27.99 for a holographic card. It was an ultra competitive, super competitive card. The alternate art Latias and Latios, we had listed at $31.99 at that same weekend.
Wow.
Same opening
That's
weekend.
crazy.
So, and I do remember selling a ton of Jirachi that weekend. I do not remember selling out of that alternate art because it was this.
Wow.
I mean, it was a new thing, but nobody really cared about it at that time.
Yeah,
nobody did. So,
what do you
It's
think
more for
of
the competitive end?
yeah, exactly.
what do you think of what's going on right now? Like the price increases, not being able to find anything on the shelves. Like it's so different compared to what it was even like last year.
Yeah, the argument is that Pokemon is cyclical, right? Like that, and that is true. Like Pokemon's going to go through these peaks and then they're going to go through these valleys in a year and a half. Like, so we'll have this boom right now and then it'll cool off for 2 years and then we'll have a boom like this again.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that is super false and way off base. Because as somebody who's been around in Pokemon for a long time, like I can tell you that when Pokemon first came out, like it was very popular. Pokemon obviously was this huge franchise right out of the gates, and
Yeah.
common Charmanders were selling for $10, $20, right out of the gates because nobody could find any packs. But then as we graduated through the Neo era and getting into Gym Challenge, Gym Heroes, it calmed down a lot. And Pokemon did have some peaks, but it never was at the point where you couldn't find packs. Like the only
Yeah.
reason you couldn't find packs is because stores weren't stocking it anymore because it wasn't selling. And we didn't get like a giant boom until really Pokemon Go. And then after Pokemon Go came out, you saw an uptick in collectability, you saw an uptick in competitive play. But again, not this huge thing where you couldn't find products on the shelves. It wasn't really until Hidden Fates released where you started like finding scalping issues where people would buy product just to resell, but that was just a blip. Like that was just a one-off thing. And then when the pandemic happened, Vivid Voltage, right after Darkness Ablaze, like all of this perfect storm with the FOMO and the major huge content creators like Logic and Logan Paul and all these people like shining all these eyes, like then the reseller mentality came in, and retail arbitrage came in and whatnot became a thing, and rip and ship platforms, and everybody's like, wow, this thing has evolved so much. There's an opportunity to make money here. And when there's an opportunity to make money, a lot of new eyeballs come into space. And that's what you had during the pandemic. It settled down, but then it started reemerging at the end of last year because there was so much money to be made. But now a lot of that product has dried up, right? Like, so all the stuff that was sitting on the shelves for so long, Paradox Rift, Temporal Forces, Stellar Crown, like all that stuff was sitting on the shelves for ages, Scarlet and Violet Base, even Paldea Evolved, that there were mass amounts of sales for booster packs, booster boxes, all that stuff in November, December. And then once it got to a certain point where it got too high in price, people backed off. People stopped buying it because, you can only cap yourself so high on a Whatnot stream or on a pack rip stream. And people only have so much money. So now it's cooled off a little bit. And I feel like some resellers have left, which is why you saw this giant decline in Journey Together ETBs. People who were like, oh, you can just go to a big box store, buy all these products, and then resell it in the secondary market. Well, that didn't work. Because they were more available. It wasn't as a short of a supply as what people thought because of prismatic evolutions. So now it's just like grasping at straws all over the place. So let's pump up celebrations right now. Let's focus on celebrations, and they're always looking. Okay, what's the next thing Pokemon's releasing? Oh, megas. Okay, let's buy out all these megas. Megas are going to be hot, and megas probably were underprinted compared to what we see now, which is why you saw this like generational growth in how expensive those cards got. But celebrations right now, it feels like super premature. It feels like it's growing at unsafe rates to the point where it's like, okay, it's almost unhealthy. And like pull rates for celebrations were so good, so strong, especially when it comes to the classic collection. So you're looking at like the Mega Rayquaza blowing up, the Zekrom, the Reshiram, the Umbreon Star going through this roller coaster of pricing. It just seems like there's so much out there still. And with the pandemic, you had all these whales coming in. Even now you have all these whales coming in who are buying product that never were before. And there's stuff like stored in storage units probably all over the place, where eventually we're going to hit a point where it levels off. It might correct a little bit, but we're not going to see growth like what we've experienced. So like celebrations, ETBs growing 150% over the past year. Like over the next year, I don't think it's going to get 100. Like you're not going to see those kinds of returns. And that's why you have to be careful, because people are like, well, celebrations 30th anniversary next year, it's going to blow up. It kind of already has. And it might be too late for that. So then you just got to focus. It's just dangerous. People are going to lose money. It's dangerous right now.
Yeah.
What do you think about like all of the vintage stuff? Because it feels like it sat pretty low for a while, and now it's just starting to ride up to. I almost feel like it's getting to where it should be, because it's like all the new modern hyped up stuff was way more expensive than these crazy rare vintage cards, and now it's all catching up.
Yeah, it's amazing how there's just always more that gets found, right? Like more base boxes that get found. Like there's always more that just seems to hit the market. But again, like that seems super cyclical, and it did mature again really fast. And some
Right.
people during the pandemic were calling it a correction. But it proved that it wasn't a correction. It was inflated growth because like base booster boxes, for example, during the height of the pandemic, were selling for $28,000. $28,000 is a lot for a base booster. It's finally back to that. It fell. Like you could buy a year ago, you could buy base booster boxes for $13,000, $14,000. So 100% growth now again over the past year seems a little heavy. Like vintage stuff has grown a lot as far as sealed goes. I feel like there's so much when it comes to singles on the market still. There's so much out there that it's probably going to continue to mature like extremely slowly. And when you do see massive growth, and obviously that should trigger warning bells. I really think that right now the mid-era stuff is probably the stuff to keep your eye on. Like we just saw, like I wouldn't call black and white vintage by any means, but you saw massive growth from that because of Black Bolt and White Flare. And then whatever Pokemon decides to do next, like that's going to be, if it is a recycle of something in the past, that's going to pop off then too. So right now it seems a lot of mid-era stuff like EX era, Diamond and Pearl, like that stuff seems to be moving single-wise, like at like really strong rates, just because of the lack of availability in pristine condition, near mint condition, anything like that. Like cards were just collected differently back then.
The 10s are going insane right now.
Yeah. And they all have such low pop, right? Like it's all stuff that's just very, very, very liquid right now, but also just short supply everywhere. I don't know. Vintage is fun, but it's always going to be volatile. And you have the people who are collecting vintage right now are the people who loved it back in the day, who have money now. But 25 years from now, the people who are going to have money are the people who are collecting Evolving Skies, Lost Origin, like all that stuff. Because those are your patterns of when Pokemon was at its most, like its biggest popularity. So like kids over the past few years that have really gotten into Pokemon, 25 years from now, when they reminisce with their kids, assuming that happens, they're going to want to rewind time to back when they were cracking packs as kids. What were they opening? They probably weren't opening Sandstorm, or Crystal Guardians at 10 years old, but they were probably opening Prismatic Evolutions and Surging Sparks, so that's part of the cyclical nature, I guess.
How are you able to keep up on everything in the market?
I don't think I mean, like part of it is just, it's my job, I guess, listing cards all the time. Like, so running a website, like I'm constantly, like I do all that work myself. So I'm uploading all the cards, I'm adjusting all the prices, and there's apps and things that I could use, but then I can't keep up with the market, or I'll get lazy and I won't be able to keep up with the market as much. So that kind of helps. And I also, like, I'm very narrow-minded. Like I know a little bit about vintage. I know a little bit about slabs. But I like everything that I'm going to be researching on a daily basis is going to be modern ultra rares, modern sealed, like a lot of that stuff, because that's what people are buying. That's the most liquid stuff right now. So it's stuff that I just have to look at every day anyways. So it's easy to keep up with. And that was kind of like the premise of starting a YouTube channel, is I'm already doing all this research and I'm already doing all this stuff anyways. So maybe I'll, put stuff out there that people will want to hear because they don't want to do the research on their own. And that way the information is just there as they're driving to work or, whatever. Maybe I can put them to sleep.
I was going to ask you, like, what drove you to start a channel?
A Hail Mary, I guess. Like, that's the best way that I can phrase it. And it's kind of like, I'm kind of in that situation right now. Again, I like to challenge myself a lot. Like, I really like to set just unattainable goals for myself. And if I can't achieve them, then I take drastic measures. So I had a business with a couple of friends and it ended up folding for personal reasons. Like there was no bad blood between us or anything like that. And Pokemon was nowhere near where it is now. So it was really also bad timing. Like margins were thin. And one of the owners had a lot going on in his personal life and he ended up moving. Another owner had a lot going on in his personal life and he ended up just bowing out. And then I got stuck and I was like, well, I have this business called Dead Jaw Gaming at the time. And I was like, well, what do I do? Like I've invested the last 2 years of my life with these friends, like trying to grow something. Like we had a podcast, we had our YouTube channel, we were literally streaming regional events for the Pokemon company. So we were doing a lot of stuff and we were starting to make our market, felt like, and it all just fell apart. And then I was like, well, what do I do? And it's not fun to do stuff yourself. Like, it's really not. And I remember battling for probably about 3 months where I was like, I should either just hang this up and do like the normal 9 to 5 thing. Like, I had my 9 to 5. I was working full time, married with 2 kids. And I mean, all of this Pokemon stuff I would do like late at night, like put the kids to bed, do Pokemon stuff. And I was just like hitting my head against the wall for so long. In 3 months, it was just like, do I quit? Do I go at it alone? Do I do something with another friend? And ultimately I ended up like, okay, well, I'm just going to try one more business. I'm going to try maybe taking a YouTube path and maybe taking an Instagram path, because that was something that I wanted to do prior, but my business partners did not really want to go down. Like, they didn't really want to push things. They got distracted by other things. So I was like, I'm just going to try pushing it, and ended up working out. I also got really lucky because it was like the perfect time of like all this exponential growth in Pokemon. So, but yeah, it was really just like this Hail Mary of like, let's just try it. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll just be a office bloke and that'll be my life. I'll just be this, typical loser dad who, no, not like that, but that's just what I thought of myself. I shouldn't say that because I'm not calling anybody losers. So it's just like this failure, I guess. Like, I'm just a failure. That's what I put on myself. So yeah. Just gotta try something.
Yeah.
What made you get into YouTube? You just wanted to.
John, really? He
Okay.
got back into Pokemon in the Sword and Shield era, and he was just constant, like, he was buying all the time, he was ripping all the time, and he was watching he was watching Vault, I think he was watching Ryan, and he just one day was like, we should maybe try this, and I was like, all right, let's do it, and we just put our heads down, went for it, and yeah, here we are.
You had fun, basically. It was fun when you started, and you're like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah, it's actually starting to the ripping side, like the opening video side of Pokemon, is kind of going downhill a little bit, which is kind of sad, because I really enjoy opening and just like collecting the cards. We're kind of getting into the investing side of things, but I just have a lot of fun with it, and I hope openings continue.
Yeah. What about you, Elliot? Why did you get into Pokemon? YouTube.
So for YouTube, I always wanted to like start a YouTube channel, and I was almost going to start like a golfing channel. And then I went to Card Party 2 last year with Vert, and then I met like a bunch of creators, and he was saying that like I should start a channel. I was like, oh, okay, I think I'll do it. And then he was saying that like a bunch of people were like, oh, you should definitely start it. So I was like, okay, whatever. So like my first video, I just sat in front of a camera and I was like, okay, I'm starting a YouTube channel. This is what it's going to be. Here's a little bit about myself.
I feel like that's still what I do, even now, years later.
Yeah.
We're the same. Yeah. But you meet like, I don't know, there's a lot of people who like struggle with the idea of doing a channel.
Yeah.
But I think what keeps it going really is like the community that you create. It's like people get
sure.
drawn into your personality, and then you find all these like-minded individuals, and then this passion just gets reignited. Like that's kind of like what keeps you going, I feel like.
It was really cool too, because last year I did like a golf video with Vert and one of my like buddies from home, and that was really fun. So I kind of revisited it this year because I was like, I still wanted like to do the golf channel, and I actually met people from Rochester, from where I'm from, and they live like 15 minutes away from me. They also do content. They're awesome, and they also love golfing. So we did a golf video. It was super fun, and we pulled the Reshiram EX SIR from White Flare.
Nice. That's sick, dude. Very cool.
I love that card.
It's so beautiful.
Card. Yes. I'm excited for the English drop.
I am too. I had I got contacted, I think it was yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before, from one of my main distributor. And they were like, just so you know, Pokemon has not sent the ETBs to us yet. So they're going to be delayed a little bit. So normally I would get like product, I don't know, like 7 to 10 days before release. So that way you can pack up pre-orders and get everything shipped out. But I'm not going to get anything in until like maybe 2 days before release, which isn't that
Oh,
big of a
wow.
deal. And this is the first set where, like, even Destined Rivals, I put up pre-orders a week before release. This is the first set where I haven't done any pre-orders or even really discussed it at all. I've just been like, nope, when it comes in, and then I'll figure out how to disperse it to people, and I'll worry about that then. I'm just trying not to even think about it right now.
Yeah.
So when I got the email, I was like, well, that sucks. How am I going to get everything packed up? And then I was like, oh, wait, I don't have to pack anything up yet. It'll be okay. So
Yeah, so does that make those 2 days before the actual release a little less hectic by
yeah,
not
for
having
sure.
to put anything out?
Yeah, because usually, like my entire weekend, the week before release would be completely shot because I'd be like, I got to record this, and I would put so much pressure on myself to get all like pull rate data figured out and everything. So
Okay.
that way, like the week of release, I have everything done. So that means I'm trying to pack up hundreds of pre-orders, but I'm also trying to get, a couple thousand packs opened. And I'll ask my daughters, hey, do you want to open up some packs and just make like, I'll teach them what piles to put stuff in. So that way I can, no, they don't care about Pokemon at all, which is fine. Like whatever makes them happy. My oldest would be like, yeah, I'll open up some packs. And then she'll open like 3. And then she'll be like, I'm kind of tired of this now. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for the help. 3 packs done. All right. Pull rate's looking great. But now that like I've kind of changed like a lot of direction with my channel, like I'll still provide that information and I still want to gather that information. I'm just not like, I just want things, I don't know. Like something kind of just switched a little bit. And now I'm just like, I'm just going to be happy with everything, regardless of how the market might be right now. Like, who the hell cares? Like, I'm just going to, fine, cool. I'm not going to be okay with it, but I'm not going to be negative about it either. I'm just
Yeah.
going to, it'll
Yeah.
get better. It'll get better. It's fine. And
What
yeah.
what drove you to do the new type of content? Because I've been loving it. The video you just released was great.
I don't know. Like, I think it's for a long time I got stuck in my ways, and it was more of like, so when I left my full-time job, I told myself like I'll do YouTube, and as long as I can make enough money to cover health insurance for myself and my family, that's all that's going to matter. And then as YouTube grew a little bit, I got like greedier, obviously, because who doesn't? But I wasn't like I want to be greedier because I want to get like this big house or anything like that. It was like I want to get greedier because I want to help more people. Like I want to, like I've done charity streams before, and I want to do a lot more of that stuff. I want to continue to get product out to people at MSRP, but I also want to give back a lot more than what I've been able to. So I was like, well, how can I do that? A lot of it's going to depend on like growth. And I've been afraid because like I'm comfortable with where YouTube has been. Like I was happy with like my subscriber count, my view count. I have like shaped my life to around this level of YouTube, but I feel like I haven't pushed myself to see if I can be better than what I think, like better than what I think I can be, I guess. So it's like I'm just gonna step outside of my comfort zone and start doing better, and we'll see how it goes. And if it, like, I'll set myself a goal, and like I told myself, I need to be at 1 million subscribers by the end of next year. And if I'm not there, then maybe I just don't do YouTube anymore. I don't know. Like maybe that's it. Maybe I just hang it up, and like I wasn't good enough, and be okay with that. I don't know. Like it's all gonna end one day anyways. Like that's the way that I kind of see it, and I want to do as much as I can in that time frame. But I really want to focus on growing to give. I don't know. It sounds so corny when I say it, and there's always going to be people who are like, no, that's not the case. But yeah, I mean that really is what it is. Like I want to give as much away as I possibly can. I don't know. I just want to do. I love Pokemon. I've had great Pokemon cards. I'm chasing all these master sets. I want everybody to be able to do that stuff. Like that's fun. That's what this is all about. I want people to play the game competitively. I want Pokemon to lead people through whatever time in their life they need it there. Like you can't do that if you can't find any cards. So yeah, I just want to be the best version of me. And I think that's kind of what's led me to try something different because I got stuck. And we'll see if it works out.
That's awesome.
Maybe it'll blow up in my face and I'll go backwards. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm just excited for the journey.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
I I think you do amazing in the community. I've seen a lot of the things that you give away. Are you still working on the Destin Rivals Master
So
Set
Destin
giveaway?
Rivals is done. So I announced that winner
Oh,
last
nice.
week, Friday. And then Black Bolt and White Flare is next. So I recorded a video a couple days ago that's with my editor right now. I'm going to do Black Bolt and White Flare together as one, like, even though it's 2 sets, it's just going to be one giveaway for one person. And usually, like, I'll just build the master set. Like this one, I want to kind of build together with the community a little bit more. So document like pulling things more and putting things in there and going through the whole process. And then I want to get that given away and out before I leave for Worlds, which is leave on August 9th. So like
Oh,
it's
wow.
within the next month. Like I want it out,
It's
shipped
a lot
out.
of opening.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Well,
opening, and it's going to be a lot of like I'm not going to put pressure on just completing it through opening because it's going to take like
yeah,
ridiculous amount of packs,
Yeah.
even if pull
it's
rates
gonna
look
be
better,
so
which they do
cool
look a lot
finished.
better. But even so, yeah, I want to be able to get a lot of sealed product out there. So I'll be buying a lot of cards too, but that just means I'll go to more card shows, I'll go to more card shops and see what kind of singles they have and figure stuff out that way. Because as I do like this master set journey and completing these master sets, I don't want it to be like, oh, buy stuff from TCG Player, buy stuff from eBay, and then you just sit there and wait for it to come in. I'd rather go out and venture out and try and find stuff and build it that way together. So we'll see
Yeah.
if that works. But
Yeah, what inspired you to do all of the master sets? Because that just seems like a crazy task.
yeah, it's just something different, I guess. And I wanted to see how difficult it would be. And it sucks. Like it's a lot more difficult. But I was like, I have like 4 or 5 rows of older bulk. Like we used to buy a lot of bulk. We probably bought like 1 million bulk cards on a monthly basis. And like as we would sort through them, anything that would have like a lot of age to it, we would usually put in a separate box. So I was like, I'll go through all this stuff, and I thought I would have like a ton of like stuff from Platinum era and Diamond and Pearl era. I don't like a lot of stuff is like repeats. So I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have a lot of like holes in all of these binders. Like a lot of the older bulk ends up, it's like all Wizards of the Coast era, like
Yeah,
base through like Neo Destiny maybe, not like Aquapolis and Expedition and Skyridge. It's all like older stuff. So, and it's all beat. I mean, it's all beat destroyed, which is fine. Originally, I wanted to do like near mint master sets. So that
oh boy.
like when I was at Card Party over the weekend, I was like looking at prices, and I was like, nope, let's just do. You got anything that's maybe some MP stuff back there, some HP stuff? That'd be fine.
If you need anything for Diamond and Pearl era, I think I have a bunch of like hollows and reverses, not
Yeah,
in good
those.
condition, but
No,
I
those are
can
the
send it
eras that
anything
like.
if you need.
Yeah, those are the eras that, as I was like today, I put out Platinum Arceus today. Like just going through, I put that together, and there's probably I'm missing like 120 cards. A lot of them are reverse hollows, so, but it's gonna be nice because like behind me, I hate the fact that this is still so zoomed in on me. But like I'll just do like a bookshelf, like a big bookshelf, and I'll just have one binder for every single set, and then
Oh, that'd be
eventually
so
like on the
cool.
outside of it, like I'll just put a label on, so that way, like as I'm recording content, I can keep pulling stuff out and filling holes, and then I don't know. I figured it'll take me like a year and a half to get through all this if I'm lucky, And I'm not even going to touch like first edition sets or Shadowless. Like we're just doing unlimited stuff for everything to start, and then we'll cross those bridges down the road if it's something that people enjoy.
That was one of my goals when we started up the channel, was to have a master set of everything, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Are you doing it like do you still build like set by set?
Yeah, so we've collected most of Scarlet Violet. Yeah, Scarlet Violet. That's been pretty easy because newest set or newest era. We have some of Sword and Shield. I'd probably say like half of it,
Okay.
and sporadically before that, like not very much before Sword and Shield.
Are they all in like individual binders already too? Like
Yeah.
when a new set comes? Okay, so that's
Yep.
a helpful. I don't know. Like the worst thing is trying to put everything in the binders to start. Like that's what I'm
Yeah,
finding because there's just so many sets, obviously. So going back and trying to put a card in like and count properly. Like I've messed up probably all of them because I mean you
God.
count 2 spots, one for the normal variant and one for the reverse hollow variant. But obviously when there's an ultra rare in there, like that only requires 1 spot. Hopefully they're okay. I don't know. Like I feel like Diamond Pro, like they didn't have all of their ultra rares. Like that was all the end of the set. So
Yeah.
hopefully there's nothing in the middle that's like random or anything. Hopefully it'll be okay.
Yeah, I tried Stormfront and Platinum Base, and after that, I haven't tried to do anymore.
But you have them like bindered up, or
I did for a while. I think
okay.
actually they might be in binders now. They're just all over the place.
I used
I'm
to
kind of-
build.
Oh, go
old,
ahead.
I used to build like old decks also from, and I still have like a bunch of retro decks from like those eras because it was so fun to play. And I really don't want to tear those apart to like help with the master set, so I'm just going to leave those separate. But it's I mean it's a daunting task. Like even having, like you said, with like Stormfront, like there's like the secret rares in the set are super expensive. I mean there's a lot. Even you said Platinum Base
Yes.
also. Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. The good thing is like those sets aren't massive compared to what we have now.
Yeah, it's like 120. I think Platinum Base is like 127 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. And like then you have like Fusions or Evolving Skies, which is like 8 million. Like
Yeah.
but it's all made up of like ultra rares, so it's all at least Evolving Skies I have. I don't even think I have Evolving Skies done. I think I'm missing like some stupid card, like Duraludon VMAX Rainbow Rare or something.
Of course.
Yeah, but like I'll worry about those later because those are all like mostly put together at least.
Yeah. I've been kind of trying like a variation of a master set, like, and not really with this set, but like kind of going like era to era and getting my favorite card if it's in the budget of
Cool.
each Pokemon. So right now I'm working on Gen 1 Pokemon and just going through like my favorite card of Blastoise, whatever.
Like your favorite artwork?
Yes.
Nice.
So it's been a lot of fun, and actually finding like a lot of cool cards that I did not know existed. So
do you like research before you look for it, or are you just like, oh, this one looks cool, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, maybe I like this Blastoise better?
I'll mostly just like look because I think there's a website I can't remember, but it shows all the artworks for every card for a Pokemon. So I'll go on there. I'll look at my favorite. Or first off, I'll get like a random number generator, and I'll generate a number, and then it's like, okay, what Pokemon is number 77? And then whatever 77 is, I'll plug in, look at my favorite art, and then just buy it or see if I could pick it up at a show.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. Does it list like all the like special cards too? Like Blastoise, for example, would it have like the artwork that's like the 4 position only, like error cards and things like that, or is it just showing basic set artworks?
I think it might have that. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check. It's been a minute since I've added to it.
That seems like a fun journey too. Yeah, I mean that's the great thing about Pokemon though, is there's all these different areas that you can go, and there's no right way to collect. Like it's whatever makes you happy. And like right now with the way things are, it's good to just find something that you really feel passionate about. Like that's what it's all about. When you were talking before about like opening Pokemon cards and how much you love it, and you said it's like declining right now, you mean from like a viewpoint, like
Yes.
like viewership?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that for a long period of time, or just like the past couple months?
It's just been like the past couple months, but also at the same time, I feel like it might have a little bit to do with John going on deployment as well, because it went from, us battling and, the banter and all of that to just me. So I feel like I might have lost a little bit of viewership from that as well. But I have been hearing from other people that their views have also kind of gone down in the opening videos.
Yeah, I think Pokemon in general right now viewership is down because I think a lot of people are either burned out with the hobby, so they're probably not researching as much. Also, B, this time of year you always see views go down a little bit, especially like summer. May, June, July, because people are, out doing other things. Then once you hit August, things start ticking back up because you have like the dog days of summer and kids get ready to go back to school and they're kind of sick of summer break, and then like things start getting a little bit better. So, I mean, it could be kind of a mix of that too.
Yeah.
But I also think like right now, and it's so difficult as a creator, especially when you're opening, because if you're opening something that other people aren't able to find, like you probably feel guilty because then you see the comment like, "Oh, it must be nice to find this Best in Rivals
Yeah.
ETB," and you're like, "Yeah, I waited 2 hours in a restock line or something,
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be." But then you still have that in the back of your mind, where it's like,
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I get a couple of those comments every now and then. But for the most part, the Pokepair community is very supportive and nice. Like I don't get a lot of bad comments, I guess you would say.
do you go out hunting for cards like frequently, or?
So I was, and then I live in a pretty populated area, so it became very hard to find anything on the shelves. And I recently uh, got connected with a store that sells at very good prices, and I just order through them right now.
Oh, cool. Elliot, do you have to hunt a lot?
Um, I was more so in the spring, which sucked because it was like 20 degrees and I was waiting out in line. There's actually like a Walgreens right by me that gets a good amount of restocks. You just have to like be there and just grab some packs. But I haven't really been looking. Haven't really felt the need to like go out and buy the packs to open, and especially because it's summer. Like I'm still in college and I'm on summer break, so it's busy still. But I still have like time to make more fun videos, I
Yeah.
guess, rather than just openings.
It made it hard too, like for example, like standing out in line like at GameStop or something. You by the time you get there, there's already 50 people in line and they've got 10 products on the shelf, so you're not going to get anything. So I just kind of gave up
Yeah.
with that as well.
Yeah. We actually
That'd be
caught
super
one on
cool.
accident at Card Party. We went to Moe's, and right outside of, or right next to Moe's, after we were done eating, there's a GameStop, and there's a line out the door.
Oh,
So we're
wow.
like, oh, let's just hop in the line. So we hopped in line and got like a prismatic surprise box, and then like a Dustin Rivals collection box.
Oh,
Wow,
cool.
Yeah,
that's
That
crazy. You're
works out
actually
well.
able to get a hold of something. I do
yeah.
want to
Then
go back
we
for a second about Worlds coming up. Me and John actually live about an hour from where it's going down. We tried to get creator passes because we were too late to get the spectator
Okay.
passes. Got denied. But I wanted to ask you, is there stuff going on in the air, like outside of the competition, where we could still go and like be able to interact with things?
Yeah, sure. Did you apply for spectator badges also though?
No, we were too late for that.
Oh, okay. So last year Hawaii was the first one that I've ever been to. I've never been to a Worlds before last year. And it was super fun. And they had a lot of stuff going on outside of the Worlds venue itself.
Yeah.
So I would assume it's going to be the same in Anaheim this year. The good thing is that if you do want, like, they haven't opened this up yet, but if you do want to go to the Pokemon Center, like, you don't need a pass, like, you don't need a spectator pass, you don't need a
Okay.
creator pass. You can go to the Pokemon Center as anybody, as long as you get a reservation time. So they haven't put those up yet. They should be
Awesome.
putting them up within the next couple weeks or so. So you can you can go into that and then see what time you get and then kind of make a day trip out of it
Yeah.
if you want. But there's always stuff that goes on. Like there was a little village in Hawaii that had a bunch of games. Like Pokemon Center reps were there. They had stuff for kids as well. Like Pikachu was walking around, Eevee was walking around, and so were like the starters like Sprigatito and Quaxley and Fuecoco. And I mean, they were doing like a lei making ceremony and they were doing origami. Like they do a lot of stuff to keep people involved. But then also like at the Worlds event itself, and it's not really encouraged. I think pretty well discouraged probably, but outside of the venue, because Pokemon wouldn't necessarily have jurisdiction, I guess there's like these long lines usually of people who set up like their own little pop-up shop of stuff. So then you have all these people who are trading or selling and doing all these things outside of the venue. So there's always stuff to do in that area, even if you don't go into the venue. The venue is a lot of fun, especially if you love competitive Pokemon, whether it be Pocket or Unite or Pokemon Go or the actual TCG or VGC, because you get to watch that. But inside the venue, outside of watching the big stream and playing inside events, there's only so much going on. Like you can register for a lottery to meet some of the artists and get something signed, but that's very difficult to get into. And they'll usually have like a museum, and they'll have like a vendor hall with 4 vendors, and then they have a trade hall where you can set up and trade with a bunch of people. And then there's usually like some kind of charity room that they'll do where you can do something to kind of give back. But other than that, I mean, it's like if you were somebody who loves the game, like you would love Worlds. But if you're somebody who's just looking to go and chill and have fun because you enjoy Pokemon, like going into the event, you could probably experience everything in a few hours inside the actual event. And then you could spend probably more time outside of the event doing stuff. So there'll still be a lot of stuff to do.
Awesome.
For sure.
Well, we will definitely see you there then.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and they're doing it a little different this year. So you can't go.
No, I don't think so. It's
when
like
do you start school
across
back up?
August 30th.
Okay, yeah, so that's cutting it pretty close, and it
Yeah.
is across the and it'll be the same next year too. Next year, I think, is later though. It's like the end of August, and it's in San Francisco. So
Okay.
Ooh. I
I'll
think
be
John. So
graduated
John.
by then, so we'll be
John's
good.
trying to get into the competitive scene. He wasn't able to this year, but I think he's going to try to start up pretty much as soon as he gets back.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
That's a lot of fun. You have there's a regional event for the first time ever in Vegas this year.
Ooh.
Oh.
So that's in, I think, November is when that is.
Okay. We'll probably definitely be at that then.
Yeah, there's only a few that they've announced for North America so far. Like I know there's one in Pittsburgh. There's another one in Milwaukee, which is in October, and I know Vegas is in November. They've announced a lot in like Latin America, but not so much in North America yet. So,
have you heard of the museum that they're doing in Chicago next year?
No.
They're doing
so
huh?
I was just saying it's so cool.
They're doing like a museum of Pokemon where they're gonna have like the bones, the skeleton, the what do you call that?
Fossils or
Fossil, yeah. They're gonna have like fossils of Pokemon, and it's gonna be at some museum in Chicago. And I planned on going to that. I think we're trying to meet up there, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool.
Wow. So like what they do like for a dinosaur exhibit,
Yeah.
but it would be with Pokemon instead.
I
That's
think
crazy.
they're also gonna mix it in with like actual dinosaur.
Oh, are they?
Skeletons.
Wow, that's super cool. No, I'll have to look into that. Chicago's actually not far, so I have not heard of that, but that's only like an hour and a half drive. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think it's in May. I don't remember the exact date, but I know it's in May.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out.
I'm excited.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. They should all be life sizes. What size the Pokemon actually is.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's gonna. I'm nerding out about that because
dinosaurs
and then Pokemon.
Do they have a list of like which Pokemon they're doing? Like it can't be too many, I would assume.
I don't know if there was a list. It might be.
I think it might have just
specific.
Been like all the fossil Pokemon.
Oh, is it?
Or maybe not all of them, but like that's probably what it's just like all the dinosaur looking ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
yeah, I think that's gonna be
like Bastiodon and I think Rampardos and Tyrantrum and all those guys.
Those would all be dinosaur Pokemon. Yeah. Okay.
Have you heard of any reprints coming up?
So Destined Rivals just got a restock for booster boxes. Distros are charging, well, my distros, because I can't speak for everyone, almost $200 per box. And then you get limited to the amount that you can order.
Yeah.
I think Pokemon is, during this time, handling reprints completely differently. I think we are past a time where we're going to see this giant booster box reprint. I think if they did do something like that, it would just immediately get bought up and not necessarily fix or correct the market. And maybe they understand that, and that's why they're doing things differently. We have seen this giant increase in the amount of vending machines that have been put out.
Yes.
We have this giant surplus of collection boxes that are coming to Europe, under the assumption that they probably will come to the United States also. But as of right now, I think it's only released for Europe. And there's like all these weird, like a Prismatic Evolutions Lugia stamp in a box with like Destined Rivals packs and like no Prismatic Evolution. So it's like this weird smorgasbord of collection boxes and variations of packs with stamped promos. And I would assume that the US will be getting something like that, but I don't think it's been announced. But I think Pokemon is just doing things differently. I think they're doing stuff more in their control where they can restock these vending machines on a weekly basis. And then you see a lot of places that are selling Pokemon cards that never have before. Like you still see, like Barnes and Noble started selling a lot more than they used to sell. Ace Hardware, Dick's Sporting Goods, like there's a lot of places that are selling Pokemon cards now all of a sudden.
And I think
maybe
you saw them at Cracker Barrel?
I do think Cracker Barrel used to sell them a long time ago and then like got out of it. And then I have heard that as well. But you see all these places selling them that weren't necessarily selling them before. So I think that's what kind of Pokemon is sticking to, rather than, hey, we're going to pump out all these booster boxes and then they just get bought up by all these whales and investors. And then maybe they will get back to doing more booster box print runs once things settle down a little bit. But distros are dry right now. And I was actually talking to one of my reps this morning about like how frustrating it is from their standpoint also. Because not only are they getting product later than what they've ever gotten it before, they're just not getting product. So the fact that they have all these storefronts that they've come to terms with, they've come to agreements with all these stores, like it's their, like distros are to blame also. Like they shouldn't have signed up so many accounts. They have to feed all these accounts. Well, they're not getting any product to feed these accounts. Where's the product going? Well, I mean, it's got to be going to vending machines. I'm sure that there's some deal with GameStop right now where GameStop is going to carry a lot more cards than they used to. And that's why so many GameStops are getting higher allocation numbers. But I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes that nobody's going to know, and it's just all going to be speculation. But that's my speculation, is that there's just not that much going to distribution. Like they still get a fair amount, but it just nowhere near enough to satisfy demand. And with all these LGSs wanting booster boxes because that's what sells, Pokemon is just like, okay, well, we'll print everything else. Plus, they've been focusing so much on 151 and Prismatic, which don't have booster boxes anyways. So,
yeah.
Do you think those vending machine? Do you think it could get to a point where they could hurt actual LGSs because there's like so many vending machines?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a difficult situation because like there are a lot of good LGSs out there for sure. And there's a lot of LGSs out there who are only in Pokemon right now because there's money, because there's dollar signs. They don't run any leagues or anything like that. And they usually don't order Pokemon. Like maybe they didn't order any Scarlet and Violet base, any Paldea Evolved. They didn't start ordering Pokemon until Surging Sparks came out. And then they were like, oh yeah, I want Surging Sparks. I want to get all this Pokemon stuff now. So yeah, I mean, those LGS are probably going to get hurt, and maybe they deserve it. Maybe they should get hurt. Maybe they shouldn't get the product because they weren't getting it. Like, I'm just trying to keep it real, I guess. But if they're not going to order Pokemon during the down times, like, why should they be rewarded only like in the strong times? Like that's, I guess, the way that I say that's fair. Yeah. But the stores that are running, leagues that are trying to grow their community, the hobby, things like that. Like, yeah, it's going to be, this is devastating for them. The fact that they're not getting allocations that are high enough, and the fact that they're not getting restocks that are high enough, which is probably why you have so many that are charging, $140 for a Prismatic Evolutions ETB. Because think of it this way: if you're going into your LGS and they have nothing on the shelves because they got, let's say, 20 Prismatic Evolutions ETBs, they sold them at MSRP, limited it to one per person, and they sold out opening day. So you go in the day after opening day, you see nothing on the shelves. Then you go back a week later, you see nothing on the shelves. Then you go back a month later, you see nothing on the shelves. Are you going to go back anymore? Or are you just going to be like, they never have anything? I'm going to go look elsewhere. I mean, it's really an impossible situation because you go in on that Saturday and you're like, well, they've got Prismatic Evolutions for 140. I'm never going there again. Like, no matter what, they're going to lose. Like, they lose no matter what. They're screwed. So that's kind of like the bad situation that LGS are in right now because they don't get product to replace it. So I don't know. Like anybody can be like, I can ride my high horse and be like, well, then they should be selling singles, like start selling on TCG Player, on eBay, on like all these different avenues, like make your margins that way, do what you got to do, grind away. It's tough. It's really tough. And it's tough to like when I'm trying to basically reteach myself YouTube to do better, like it's really frustrating to try and do that. Because if something doesn't perform the way you think it should perform or the way you want it to perform, like if you've ever created like a video that you're really proud of and then all of a sudden you release it and nobody's watching it, like it is devastating emotionally. You're like, wow, I put my soul into that and it just sucked. Maybe I just suck. So like having
I say that
like,
every other day.
that all turns around. Yeah, me too. So same boat. Yeah. But it's the same as like an LGS. Like this is like they try selling on TCG Player, they're not used to it, or they try selling singles, they're not used to it, and it just like it feels like they're relearning a business that they're not used to, that they didn't sign up for to begin with, and there's so much frustration right now from that standpoint of things. But yeah, vending machines, like all these new big box stores, like it's slowly killing the LGS, and it's only going to get worse. It seems like for the immediate future. Like Pokemon has already contacted a lot of authorized LGS about how limited future pre-release kits are going to be, and it's like, well, how are we supposed to run these pre-release events? How are we supposed to grow this hobby? There's got to be something weird going on that just nobody really knows about. I feel like there has to be.
Yeah.
So if there is not going to be a crash when it comes to sealed product.
Yes.
So singles, for example, are crashing like crazy. Like special illustration rares, they got pumped up like mad. I mean, look at like Arctibax. Like that was a $50 card. It's $9. Drowsy shot up to $90. Yeah. It's like $20. Like they're ridiculous prices that happen. They have retraced almost back to the levels they were prior to November when Surging Sparks came out. So there's a lot of like illustration rares, special illustration rares, modern cards that are completely retracing. You know, stuff that's really not retracing is sealed stuff, like booster boxes and ETBs. Well, how does Pokemon fix that? Well, then they don't focus on printing those, and they focus on printing all of this crap. That's collection boxes. That's stuff that nobody wanted. Like I recorded a video about dead inventory one time, about all this stuff that got forced upon us as store owners by distros, basically saying, hey, we'll give you good products, but you have to take all this bad product first, because they were just overloaded. Like that's how Pokemon fixes this, is they start putting out tons of collection boxes that nobody really wants, except for this is their only way of getting packs inside. People don't look at them as like sealed investment opportunities, and they focus on that instead. And then you start seeing stuff pop up at stores more. Then you start seeing stuff pop up at brick and mortars, LGSs that are MSRP. You start going to your Walmarts and your Targets, and those are left on the shelves. I think that's the old, like, maybe I think that's the path that they're going down, and that's, maybe they're right. Maybe that's the only way that this gets better.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what I was leaning towards as well. Is like, do you think that in the future, if things stay the way that they are now, are we going to see an uptick in printing?
Yeah, I think we already have. Like, I think Pokemon is already printing to max capacity, and we're not really feeling the effects yet, because they didn't really make that announcement until January. Also, for a long time, Pokemon was also printing products for, like, in North America, they were also printing products for the EU. So they were helping print products that would then get distributed over there to sell in their retail stores. Well, during the last several months, Pokemon has scratched that, where now they have a printer in Europe who's also printing to max capacity only for Europe. So that eases the burden on printing in North America, and then more product can get put out there. And now, with all these additional vending machines, I think we are starting to see it, and I think we are starting to feel it a little bit. It's just not there yet. And it's once we get through Black Bolt, like I'm very excited for the release of Black Bolt and White Flare. And I'm very cautiously optimistic that there is going to be more out in the wild than people think. And we'll see.
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were around during celebrations. Both of you were
Yes.
around during celebrations? Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, so there was all these LGSs who were taking advantage at the release of celebrations, right? Like selling ETBs at the time for like $75, $80, which made the community really angry because it was scalping ETBs, right? But then we hit the release day of celebrations, and people lined up to buy celebrations Elite Trainer boxes. But I remember at that time, Targets, Walmarts, they were literally bringing out extra shelving units to display all the product that they got. And there were people who lined up to try and get an Elite Trainer box, and they all got their limit. Everybody got their limit. And then there would still be some left over. It didn't work with like ultra premium collections, but with like ETBs, maybe a little bit. And then Celebration sat. Like it sat on the shelves for a while. It didn't really fluctuate. It stayed pretty much right around MSRP for a long time until, the past year and a half or so. It started going up a lot. But like it was there. And like I'm hoping that that's what we're going to run into with Black Bolt and White Flare. But we'll see.
Yeah, that would be. It'd be nice to start seeing stuff on the shelves again, like
For sure.
especially like because to go back about like the vending machines for a second. I wouldn't mind seeing more of those around, just to make up for how expensive the LCS has gotten. Like the one that is close to us, he has gotten insane with his prices, and I would much rather go to a vending machine or GameStop or wherever and get an ETB for $50 than paying $120 for an ETB. But again, that also, makes it to where not everybody's going to have access to the product because it's all in vending machines.
Yeah, and he's probably, I don't know your LGS, and there are a lot of LGS out there who are scummy and take advantage. Yeah. And there's some who just have to charge that price because otherwise they have to close. Like they won't get any other product. So it's like, it's frustrating no matter what. But like the vending machines, while it could be a solution, and hopefully it is, I feel like there's a lot of people who still just camp out at vending machines and wipe out all the stock. Like you still have that in a lot of areas too.
Yeah.
So the money just can't be there on the resellers market. Like that's, and I don't think it is as much. Like we did have a brief period of time where like Prismatic Evolution's ETBs dropped below $100. They've gone back up a little bit, but once it doesn't make sense for resellers to buy everything out, then the product sits a little bit longer and it gives people more of a chance to have it. And then people say that MSRP is too expensive. And then we'll go back to that day when MSRP was too much. Pokemon community will never be satisfied with pricing. That's like the one thing that will never work. Pricing is always going to be an issue no matter what. But
yeah,
I would much rather honestly make like $30, $20 margin on a box. Like that's fine and everybody's happy, rather than, I don't know, where we're at right now. It's just not, that's not fun.
Elliot mentioned in the last pod that we did, seeing ETBs at like $35. I never saw that.
Really?
That's unfortunate.
Wow. I sold ETBs. There's actually a video on my channel that I called $30 ETBs. I sold Scarlet and Violet Base, Paldea Evolved, and Obsidian Flames for $30. One of my distributors called me and they said, hey, we need to force these on you. I need you to take 300 of each. We'll give them to you for, I think it was like $22. And I still had a bunch at the time. So I was like, what am I going to do with all these? And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to sell them all for $30. Forget it. And I just was like, $30, fine, boom.
You could even go into like Walmart and you'd see like the sales sticker on like Burning Shadows or Crimson Invasion for like $25.
Yeah.
Can you please call me the next time you're selling ETBs for $30?
You just have to, just watch the channel. I'm trying to sell out and pump myself. I thought I had a Burning Shadows ETB around here somewhere that had the price tag on it. I don't. I lied. But they did have them for like $35. Yeah, they were like a blue and yellow sticker. It was like $35. Yeah.
Man,
So,
yeah, nope, I missed out.
Mm-hmm. That was even like at the beginning of the pandemic. I feel like even Shining Legends at that time, like all those collection boxes,
they were stocked.
Yeah, like
There's
Walmart
so
clearance
many.
style. Yeah, nobody wanted Shining Legends when it first came
It was
out.
such
either.
a good set. I was like, I wish I had more money to open that.
I remember getting Shining Legends. Nobody wanted it.
Was it Shining Legends you were talking about last time, Elliot?
I could have been. Am I Shining Legends?
Where you bought it for way over? What was the one you said you bought for way over price?
Shining Fates.
Shining Fates. Yes.
You paid over. Oh, when it first came out.
Yeah, because I was like kind of newer into it, and I fell into the hype, and I think I paid. It was either like $80 or like $140, like for an ETB. And
that's a big difference there, Elliot.
I don't remember which one, but it was one of the
Shining Fates. Shining Fates was probably like the biggest printed set maybe ever. Maybe Evolutions, like those two. It's got to be Shining Fates. It had so many massive print runs, and those singles, I don't think they will ever recover. Like
probably not.
Like all the baby shinies are super cheap. All of the full art shinies are super cheap, except for the Charizard, which is still, even that's like $85. Like nothing has recovered.
Yeah, that's brutal.
It was crazy how much they put out there, and they didn't put it all out right away. Obviously, like it was tough to find out of the gates, but then they had like a second giant reprint and a third, and they just overloaded with product. But times have changed now. They just can't do that anymore. It seems there's too many big people, deep pockets in the hobby that are just buying all of that stuff up.
Yep.
Is there anything that we should be keeping an eye on right now?
As far as
for like future investments, or I feel like the market is just so crazy right now. It's hard to even pick something. But is there anything that you are keeping an eye on right now?
So, I mean, I'm forced into a lot of stuff from like the mid era, like what I was talking about before, with all that stuff from Platinum and all that stuff from Diamond and Pearl, because it is so difficult to find in near mint condition. I think those are strong. I think a lot of EX era EXs are still somewhat undervalued, because you look at the hype of modern ultra rares, and some of the artworks on those are incredible. But I think like if you're somebody who's really, really cheap and you're just looking to stock things long term, like the most easy, simplest play right now is probably bulk VMAXs. Like you can buy those all day from a lot of people for 50 cents. Every single time Pokemon gets away from something, eventually they come back to it. At least so far. Like primes were $1, $2 at one point in time. You could buy tons of them for that price. And like VMAXs are cheap, but one day people are going to love VMAXs, and there's a lot of like big Pokemon that people love that one day they're like, if you're finding a 50-cent VMAX for anything right now that's a decent Pokemon, it'll probably go up one day in the future. People will be like, oh, I miss VMAXs, I want to collect all the VMAXs. Like, I think that's safe when it comes to singles. Sealed, like anything, but singles is so volatile.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's nothing that's really safe right now, at least not in my mind. That's why like my mentality is always, I can pay this margin or I can pay this percentage, and as soon as I get it in, I just want to list it right away and collect that margin, that difference, and then just reinvest it, put it in. It's just all about burning and turning. Like singles are way too difficult right now, and I think they always will be, because you're just going to have hype in and out all over the place.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to hold you all night, so we usually ask our guests before we end it off, if you had a dream set, you had complete control over this set, what would you want to put in that set?
Can you there could be so many different ways of this. Like, so I love the idea of dark and light Pokemon, which we haven't gotten like a reprint of that. Kind of like we had with like Team Rocket Returns, Neo
Right.
Destiny. Like those are super super cool as far as the feels go. But going back to that and really focusing on like psychic Pokemon, poison Pokemon. Like obviously I'm a huge fan of like Phantom, but I like all of that stuff like Gengar, Chandelure, like all of those psychic Pokemon doing stuff in like a dark light setting. And you could even do like megas, like that would be fine too, but I guess that would be like my dream set. My one of my favorite sets of all time is like Phantom Forces because it was
Oh,
like
it's
this
such a good set.
perfect mix of collectability and competitiveness. Like the nature of it was perfect. So doing a set like that, but like it doesn't have any full art megas, which would be nice. And then also like if it had like a dark light feel, like they expanded on that more, that would be super cool.
I love it.
I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really thought about. I mean, I always look for the sets that are like this perfect balance. Like, there's usually one set every generation. Like Lost Origin was really good in the Sword and Shield block. Paldea Evolved was really good, and Paradox Rift also was pretty good in the Scarlet and Violet block.
Yeah.
There's usually one set that's like meta defining as far as the trainer cards that were released, and then you have a lot of sets that like just don't provide a lot. I mean, Destined Rivals might be okay. Journey Together didn't bring a whole lot to the meta. Like it had potential. Prismatic Evolutions
Yeah.
brought a little bit. It's just not enough to like unseat Gardevoir right now and Dragapult, and I don't know. We'll see what happens with Mega Evolution
Yes.
now that we got
And
information for that.
do you have any questions for us before we get out of here?
Are there any questions I'm not allowed to ask?
No.
Nope.
Ask
Okay.
whatever you want.
No, I don't really have any questions. No, not really. You're going to Seattle
Yes.
for sure, and you're not going to Seattle.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm studying abroad, so it'll be.
But what did you think of Card Party 3 compared to Card Party 2?
I still thought it was really good. But I liked the vibe of Card Party 2 more because I feel like it was everything at the hotel. It had the pool, it had basketball, had the bar where everyone would go after the event, do trades, all of that stuff. I just think it had a little bit of a better vibe for everything. And this one, like, it was still fun. You could go out and do stuff, but it felt more of like a Collecticon where you're kind of just there looking at cards and then maybe watch the events and then you're gone.
Did you like the everything, like all the vendors being in one room versus multiple rooms?
I think it was kind of nice. I think you might have mentioned it recently that because last year they had the 3 rooms, it was kind of a nice break
Yeah.
to go in between, and I definitely agree with that. It was nice to just reset and then go get overwhelmed again.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay. Yeah, I don't really have any. Do you have any big plans on the horizon? Like anything big that you guys are undertaking outside of just the normal stuff? Obviously, getting ready for the homecoming, but like anything as far as your channel goes?
No, I think, well, I mean, well, actually, so we did, I saved up a little bit of something from every set since John has been gone. So he's probably going to do something like a crazy live stream or something like that where he just rips through everything
Cool.
that I have saved for him.
Okay. And Elliot, with your
Yeah.
like Pokedex journey, are you like
Yes.
expanding that into like short form content more, or what's your
Yeah,
plan with
I'm
that?
trying to figure out how to make that into a short form, and I was thinking maybe I'll just like roll a dice or figure out a number in the Pokédex and just show me like putting it in the slot once I get everything. And since I'm going to be studying abroad, I'll probably be doing that as like my content because I'm kind of struggling to think about like ideas of like long form for when because I'm studying in Italy and they have cards there, so I
Yeah.
could make like openings and everything, but just, I don't know if like if the time is going to be there, because
Sure.
I feel like the week's just going to be packed with schoolwork and whatever, and then weekends would probably be traveling.
Well, yeah, you're gonna
Maybe
want to.
do a little vlog style or something like that.
You're
You
in
gotta
Italy.
open some packs at the Coliseum, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
the Coliseum.
What are
The
the chances?
Coliseum.
Yeah,
Perfect pun. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you're in Italy. You're gonna want to travel around and look at everything. That's gonna take up, a lot of time. You'll figure something out.
yeah.
I get
for
what you
sure.
mean, though. You should just create like a die with 1,050 sides to it, and then just carry that with you everywhere you go. Just use a magnifying
That'd be
glass
crazy.
to try and read all the numbers
Yeah.
or whatever. It is. Cool. Yeah. No, I'm good. I don't really have anything. I hope you guys are good. I appreciate you having me on. It's fun just to talk Pokemon.
Yeah, thank you
and
so
just
much.
chill.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, of course.
You want to
No
tell
problem.
everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, just at Danny Phantom. On Instagram is Danny.Phantom. I don't know any of my other handles. I'm still getting used to them, so probably Danny Phantom somewhere. Yeah, somewhere. If you want to watch.
Oh yeah.
You have
Thanks,
to
man.
watch.
Seriously, thanks for coming on. And
Thanks a lot, guys. No, thank you.
It's been fun.
Yes,
Likewise. Yeah, keep up the good work, guys. Thanks a lot.
thank you.
Thanks, man.